What makes a design great isn't always objective. Sometimes it's based purely on how it makes you feel, and no logo is a better example of this than NASA's. This is why NASA is iconic. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration was founded in 1958. As the first American space agency, they needed a logo that represented their responsibility for all science and technology related to air and space. The first logo design was created by a Lewis Research Center illustrator. It included spheres that symbolized planets, stars in space, a white orbital line for space travel, and a red shape that referenced an early research project. This is considered the seal of NASA and is still used today for formal purposes. Then, in 1959, NASA employee James Motorelli was asked to simplify the seal, and so he created this image that you're probably most familiar with. It maintained the main elements of the seal and kept only the red, white, and blue colors, for patriotic reasons. Despite being the logo for NASA for the next 15 years, not everyone was crazy about it. For one thing, it was difficult to print. Printing technology was not that sophisticated, which resulted in muddied, unclear images. So in 1975, as part of the Federal Graphics Improvement Program, NASA was given a design makeover. After all, they had sent a man on the moon. They needed a logo that looked just as future-forward. The design firm of Dan & Blackburn was tasked with what Richard Dan claims was the most difficult thing he ever worked on. The end result was a minimalist custom red font. It met all of the criteria. It was futuristic, easy to reproduce, and was legible on all of NASA spacecrafts. The rounded A's were reminiscent of spaceship noses, and the removal of the crosslines made it unique. But for a group of people leading the frontier of new discoveries every day, they weren't so fond of change. Dan & Blackburn even created a detailed manual on how to use the new NASA symbol. It even won the prestigious Award for Design Excellence by the Presidential Design Awards. But NASA wasn't interested in design principles and rules. They were scientists and engineers, not designers. Their focus was on how the logo made them feel. That was a logo they grew up with. That was a symbol that went to the moon. And so began the battle between the meatball and the worm, which were the nicknames NASA coined the two logos. The meatball because it sort of looks like a meatball, and the worm because of its uniform thickness. But for the next 18 years, the worm prevailed. Yet it was during this period that morale at NASA had gone down. After the failures of Skylab and the Challenger, they needed a rocket boost. So the new NASA administrator at the time, Daniel Goldin, chose to reinstate the meatball. And it worked! NASA ditched the worm in a matter of days and has been making progress in space ever since. If a group of scientists love something that professional designers find ugly, who's to say who's wrong? If a design has the ability to affect people at an emotional level, that's what makes it truly iconic. Are you Team Meatball or Team Worm? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like Gamma Ray on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube.